Welcome everybody. Hello, hello.
Hello. Tuesdays.
Hey, Sid.
Hello.
There you go.
Hi,
everybody.
Good to see you all. Hi.
Yeah, Sid, you're frozen.
Hello.
It might be Zoom. I'm seeing in the chat that there's a lot of black boxes. It might be unstable.
Am I frozen?
Yeah.
Ah.
All right. Well, we'll give it a try and see what happens.
It's cool. It's good.
We might be faceless tonight. Gotham is going to come in and be like, nothing's different for her. We'll throw it over to Sid in the black box, or we won't.
Hi, guys.
Here we go.
I hope you can hear me. I'm so relieved that it's a black box because I just happen to be naked, jumping all over my furniture. But it's one of those weird things. You need to take that visual out of your mind. It's very horrifying. I know. I'm hoping that it comes back any second now, and we'll fix it. Is it me? Has Zoom been updated?
Maybe, yeah. I think we might need to end and come back in.
Well, let's try it. How many people are we? Are we more than 100? Because if we are, then we won't all get back.
Oh, you're back.
But let me have a look. I'm back. Is everyone else back? I'm back. Everyone's back. Yay! Okay, good. We're good. We have fought through the smog of Zoomdom. I just want to mention that Armin is doing an amazingly important thing about pancreatic cancer. And there's a website called pancan.org, I believe. If you want to browse, see what this is about the pancreatic, because Kitty, of course, his wife, has survived it. And so they're doing a big push. So, Puffin, are we all happy? Are we seeing actual live footage?
Yes, it says your bandwidth is low, but we can see you and hear you.
Okay. I think that's because I'm tethering my iPad to my iPhone. Long story. Long as I'm here a little bit, then that'll be okay. So let's get going. That's why we're all here. Let's talk to some people. And I know some people have birthdays.
We have a lot of birthday people. We're going to start with Jackie, whose birthday was way back at the beginning of March.
Oh, Jackie, I'm sorry I missed your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank
Can
you.
we all, if the internet can handle a happy birthday from around the world, please let's give one to Jackie.
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Jackie.
Happy birthday,
Jackie.
The internet most certainly can.
It can. It did. Thank you, guys.
It did. Of course, you are one of our great activists, and you've been doing amazing stuff for disability with Rob. What did you do for your birthday?
I got delivery cookies, so they were hot and fresh, and that was nice. I think I'm kind of saving most of my energy for the next birthday. Last birthday was nothing because I shut down early because things in Italy were making me worried. Yeah, I kind of kept this low key too, and I'm just hoping to channel everything into next birthday. So
Right.
But I did get one present for myself. I got this signed, so I don't know if that's going to show very well.
I do the wrong Jackie.
I've been wanting to get it signed for ages.
I was just thinking today, I'm going to try and get Andy to come back and talk to us because it's crazy that we haven't seen him for so long. And I really want to find out how he is.
If you need to catch up with him, yeah.
How is life in Austin, Texas?
Better than the last time I spoke, which was when I was presenting, because that was when we didn't have water still after the whole freeze and stuff.
Of course, I remember that. Yeah, it's better, but still kind of a little bit crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like, at least vaccinations are happening. I've gotten both of mine, and it should be fully effective in like 2 days. So I'm very happy about that.
Congratulations! That's wonderful.
Thank you.
What is it that you're up to? What's going on in your world? What are you working?
Well, so since I actually talked to you last, I got an essay accepted to a collection, and that's being published next year. And then one of my short stories also won a grant. So, yeah.
Jackie? That's awesome. That's really great.
It's pretty awesome, yeah. So I'm excited about that.
And so how does that work? It gets published next year.
Right.
How? What's the mechanics there? Is it something that we can all read next year, or do we have to? How does that work?
So ATB Publishing is a company that puts out books with essays on different sci-fi shows. And actually, Sarah Baum has had a couple of her pieces in their things before. And this is the Deep Space Nine collection that's coming out next year.
Wow, that's just great.
It'll be for sale to the general public, and yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. Well, I wish you all the best with that. I mean, you've already done the most amazing thing, and that's get published. That's just spectacular. Congratulations. Are you still
It's pretty
working
exciting.
on very exciting. Are you still working on your activism and promoting disability rights?
Yeah. Part of what I do on my Patreon is I write essays, and some of them are about disability. Right now, I mostly just retweet bigger disabled activists because I still have more to learn. Like, I am disabled, I have this experience, but there are people who have been out there for a long time doing this work. And I'm still kind of new to the actual activism scene.
I think there's something really interesting about your position particularly, and that is, I can't not talk to you and talk a bit about this because it's such an important part of you. And what's interesting is that, and why I like this sort of forum, and that this pretty much goes for everybody who has something they need to talk about, some message they need to get out there, is that from my point of view, at least, I learn messaging. I mean, I learn how to frame the subject, the arguments, the discussion points that I'd like to talk about in the nicest possible way and in the coolest environment. And it all doesn't necessarily always need to be a nice way. But do you feel that you're learning them how to message? Is that what you think, why you defer to what you call bigger activists?
About learning the message, and also a lot about learning more of the history.
Yeah.
Because disability is a huge topic with a huge history. And I've got a couple of books that I'm working on reading through, and I'm listening to people, but also I am also white, and there is a bigger disparity for Black disabled people. So that's who I'm really trying to listen to a lot right now.
Right, because that's the mixed message there, which is a double whammy of issues that have to be dealt.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't be sorry ever.
I think the connection isn't perfect yet because I think I keep missing.
No, it's not perfect at all, but that's okay. It's the whole thing. The whole social club isn't perfect. So this is just a kind of metaphor right now.
Appropriate.
I mean, obviously, I think your experiences are equally as valid, but I completely understand you deferring to it because they're dealing with much more fiery storms in the intersectionality of what's going on. So I'm curious, are you inspired by any one particular person that we should follow or look for or would be interesting to read?
Amani the Barbarian is pretty great. She's most active on TikTok, but she does a lot of activism stuff. She's a Black woman who is disabled. And puts a lot of stuff out there. Alyssa Wong is also really great. She's putting a lot of podcasts together with disabled people and talking about intersectionality and issues there.
Yeah, but I think with us, intersectionality is really the common thread with nearly all of us. There is always some intersection where we meet and know each other. And we should just be really, really much better at working out how to find those common threads that we can turn into something beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when more people work together to bring things up, it's like it helps everyone. Like a rising tide lifts all ships is one of the most truest saying there is.
Yeah, absolutely. Literally. It's very few times you can use that word. But absolutely true. Absolutely true. I'm hoping this is a great place to gestate some of those ideas. And I'd love it, the fact that you shared some of those people with us. So maybe a few of us can have a look at those because they're probably talking about a lot more than disability or race or gender, but talking about the kind of holistic experience of all of humanity, kind of, isn't it? I mean, I don't think there's a better word for it. We're a big old mess as a race, and we should celebrate that big old mess.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we should.
Thank you, and big happy birthday, huge happy birthday.
Thank you. I've been looking forward to that for a while.
Oh, you got it. I'm really glad. I'm sorry I missed it the first time round.
It's okay. You're fine. Like, you were busy.
It's very funny because I know that I'm stuttering because of my internet connection. And Mel, you're probably even worse, aren't you?
I have no idea. I can't hear myself on the screen, so I don't know.
You're coming through loud and clear now.
Oh, okay, good. It seems to be fixing itself and then unfixing itself, so we'll see. We'll power through. Our next birthday is Fernanda, and this is Fernanda's first time working up the courage to come on and talk to you.
Yep.
Fernanda, you're so welcome. Hi.
Hello.
Of course, it's a day when the internet is all dicey and dodgy
Of
and
course,
stuttery.
yeah.
That's great. It'll mask a whole bunch of dicey and stutteriness on my part anyway. People just put it down to the fact the internet's terrible. Where are you, Fernanda?
I'm in Rio, in Brazil.
Oh my goodness. How are you and your family? How are you doing?
We're good. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I live with my parents. They're over 65, so we've been pretty much quarantined for over a year.
Yeah.
I've barely got out of the house,
Yeah.
but we're safe. And my parents actually got their first dose, and they're going to get the second dose of the vaccine in the end of this month. So that's something.
That is massively something. That is really great, especially in Brazil, which has, I think, the worst COVID situation possibly in the world right now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Which is kind of frightening. Yeah. I know that it was your birthday and I was in Estonia, so I missed it. I'm really sorry, but can I wish you a happy birthday right now, even though it's belated? Can we all wish Fernanda a happy birthday?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday.
It sounds like we've sampled Happy Birthdays and put it on a track because it's and like with a stutter, like one of those old rap songs, the early days when they were like, you know, there was, can't remember what it was, but there was one song which was like 21. It'll come to me. I'll have to ask Rob Moriarty because he knows every song that ever was published. What sort of thing is, how do you apply mathematics to the brain?
So there are two kind of research that I've worked with, and both have to do with the ability of the brain to make predictions. So one has to do with more of like rhythm and how does the brain interpret like a certain sequence of rhythms and how it can predict what sort of like beats coming after the one that you already heard, so they can analyze it and analyze it also statistically. And so based on this idea, you can look at for many aspects. So one of the videos that I did, one of the researcher, he's also like an amateur magician. So he likes to talk about how magic has this relationship with the ability of the brain to make predictions, because that's what magic's all about. You predict that something's going to happen and then it doesn't. And then you get like, what? That's not what I thought was going to happen. And that was a fun video because he likes to talk about it a lot, the researcher. So it's fun for him, and he can show like he does a little magic trick.
That's really cool.
And then he explains it.
So you film it and then you put it on YouTube or something like that?
Yeah, well, I can't film it anything because of the pandemic, but I edit it and I do like Zoom meetings and I record it and then I edit it and they send me the videos of them like doing the magic and then I edit it and put it on YouTube.
Wow. And had you ever edited before?
Yeah, I've been editing forever. I like editing like just in my free time. I still do. But when I got off college, I wanted to work with movies and be an editor in movies. I especially like to edit music videos too. I really love music video editing, but it's hard to get like something steady. So I got a few freelance jobs, but nothing serious. But I still love editing. It's what I really like to do.
Wow. Well, this is the best of both worlds. I mean, you can still do the occasional music video if it comes your way because you don't have to rely on it.
Yeah. Sure.
That's wonderful.
And I can just edit because I like it also, which is also fun.
That is super cool. And what do your family do to have fun? What do you do when you go, right, we're gonna, you know, you don't obviously say you're gonna have fun, but what is it that you do that amuses you?
Like together or stuff that we do individually?
Together or alone, just anything. Do you
together,
do you like binge
we've been
watching
TV?
A lot
of Netflix.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's what happened is that because I've always been a Star Trek fan, and I actually just started watching The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine because of the pandemic with my mother.
Wow.
So it's something that we do together.
Oh, cool. Does she like it? Is she interested by it?
Yeah, she loves it. She loves it. We started watching actually The Next Generation just because we needed something to watch, and we liked the original series. So like, Mom, let's watch this. I mean, it's Star Trek, you know, maybe it's not as good as the original series, but I'm sure it's not that bad. And then we loved it and it ended and we were sad and they're like, we need more. So now we're watching Deep Space Nine and Voyager because I can't get enough. But my parents, they don't do it as much, but they like dancing. They danced before the pandemic. And so sometimes they dance in the living room together, which is cute.
That's just
I dance
adorable.
alone in my room, which is not so cute. It's something I also like to do.
It's totally cute. There's nothing wrong with it. Lovely.
And and video chat with my friends, which is always like the highlight of my week.
Yeah.
It's really, I crave it. And it's funny because I video chat every Friday. And then when it gets Monday, I'm like, oh my God, is it the day already? What? I have to wait till Friday again? No. It's been too long. I need more.
Oh, well, that's brilliant. I love the idea that you dance, and you don't dance with your parents, but you dance yourself in your room. I love that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what, as kids, we did that all the time. You know, we just dance. I don't care who's around. If I feel like dancing, I'm going to dance. It makes complete sense. And I wasn't dancing here, by the way, when the screen was black.
Sure. Of course.
Certainly not. Do you know the actor Juliette Binoche? She's a French actor. Yeah. I'm a big fan of her. She's one of the most vivid actors in the world. I mean, I just have loved her work ever since, she did The Unbearable Lightness of Being. If anybody wants to YouTube something that she did that is amazing, because she's very into doing things that she doesn't feel brave enough to do. And one of those things is dance in public. And I believe it was at the Barbican, which is a theatre in London, about 4 or 5 years ago. She danced for the public and people paid and came. But the manner of her dance is electric and wonderful. And I believe it's on YouTube. I don't know what it's called, but that will inspire people to dance and to be courageous at the same time, which I think is something everybody needs.
Definitely.
Well, thank you for getting the courage together to come and talk to us.
Thank you.
It's been great.
Yeah.
Come back.
I will. I'll never leave right now.
So lovely. Thanks, Fernanda.
That's fine. I'll be here.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Always welcome.
Sid, I think the issue with Zoom is that we needed to update. So I just dipped out and updated mine, and it seems to be doing better on my end. So if you want to do that on yours, you can, or we can have it. You can do it afterwards.
No, if it's affecting the quality, I will absolutely do it. So do something like play an instrument while I'm gone.
Well, I can play the radio. That's it.
There you go. I'll be back.
Okay.
All
right.
Give me a second.
All right.
Oh wait, how do I get out? It's still here. I have to leave the room.
I can't kick you out, or you won't be able to get back in. There we go. All right. Sid's coming back in.
I don't know if this is better. Am I coming through clearer?
Yes. Yeah, it's.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we're going to move on to our next person, except she stepped away.
She's updating.
There she is.
Everybody's updating.
Yeah.
Hi.
Deanna, your birthday was way back in February.
Yes.
Well, happy birthday. Oh, my goodness, look at all those plush toys you've got back there.
Yeah, I had my pets too, but they left.
Oh, really? What's wrong with them?
I know.
Let's give you a big happy birthday, because I know last week I forgot to do this very much. Can we all say happy birthday to Deanna, please?
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Thank you.
Nice one. Where are you?
I'm in Michigan.
Oh, right. That's in the news.
Yeah, we're #1 in the COVID cases now, so I'm really glad I got vaccinated on Saturday.
God,
I'm really going out and doing much, just kind of go out and walk my dog or go to the comic shop.
Can you tell us a bit about all your companions around you?
Oh, yeah. So I got this one when I was working in Japan, so I got at the Disney store. My friend won this one for me out of a crane machine. It's the Flash. I'm a big DC fan, geek in general. It's genetic. This is Robin.
Aww.
And then I've got a bunch of squishables too, and my pets will use them as pillows, which is super cute.
That is super cute. What got you into collecting them?
Oh, we always had stuffed animals, and they're just fun to have.
They are.
My mom got me my squishable, my big giant squishable moose when I was in college.
Aww.
We like to cuddle while I watch scary movies because I'm a giant wimp.
And yet you watch scary movies. What is that compulsion that makes you
I
go?
don't know.
I am
Sometimes they're interesting.
Do it.
But my new thing is to I like to just write in my notebook and watch some 1-star Netflix horror movie. It's like mindless background noise while I'm writing. It's entertaining.
What's your favorite kind of horror movie?
I like the ghost stories.
The kind of poltergeisty ones?
Yeah.
Or the kind of Edgar Allan Poe ones?
Kind of both of those.
Yeah. I think I like the ones that seem possible to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that the ones that like Saw and Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff are pretty terrifying, but they all seem a bit out there. It doesn't seem even remotely conceivable. Well, if they are, they're just too horrible to even think about, at least some of the ones I've seen. Did you ever see, there's an famous Australian one, which I saw, Something Creek. It was terrifying.
I haven't heard of that. I haven't really watched many Australian movies, so I'll have to look at that.
I can't remember what it's called, but it was lots of, gore, lots of blood. I think they're called, I don't know what they're called actually. There's a collective noun for them. I don't know. There's a kind of way that you call these things. But someone will tell me in the chat.
Oh, was it Wolf Creek?
Yeah, there you go. Slasher, splatter. I'm reading the chat now. So, okay, so you like the more delicate ones, which are infinitely more frightening because they're subtle.
Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do, yeah.
See,
my mom has had her weird experience, and I've only had a couple things. Yeah. One was when I was working in Japan, I was going shopping in this mall, and I just felt something tug on the back of my coat, about waist high. So I turn around, nobody behind me.
Wow.
Nobody could have reached me. And my other experience was we had to put our 15-year-old cat down a couple of years ago, and she would jump up on the bed, kind of visit with me, and I was getting ready for bed one night, just lying down, and then I very clearly felt a cat jump up on the bed. So I knew that was Lena coming in to check on me. So that was a really sweet thing.
That is sweet.
My only two hauntings are not creepy or anything.
Goodness, they're not creepy. Goodness, I mean, they would still scare the living daylights out of me. Even if I love the cat, it's like, you are dead. Get back. Go back to wherever the hell you come from. My ex-wife, Nana, who I love, and she's come to hang out with us many times, was very sensitive, I guess is the right word, to that sort of paranormal activity. And there was once a time, and I don't think she'll mind me telling her this, she came on here and talked a lot about some of the experiences she had. We looked for a house together when we knew that Django was going to come. And one of the criteria was that she would go into the house and see what she sensed. And she was extremely sensitive. And there was a house actually on the street on which we ended up buying a house where she felt so bad that we didn't buy the house.
Good thing she checked.
But I don't know, because I'm obviously totally senseless to the whole phenomenon. I don't feel a thing. I mean, I can scare myself a lot if I think about it, especially when I was younger. And even now, if I'm alone in the house and somehow there's a power cut and it's, all that sort of stuff, and I can go, my imagination can run wild.
Oh, yeah. But that's where it's nice to have pets, because then you can blame anything weird on them.
That's true. Have you ever heard of a ghost touching someone?
I have, but thankfully it has not really happened to me, except for that one tug on my coat.
So you did feel that? That's
it was just very clearly a hand pulling on the back of my coat.
That's unusual. That kind of puts my theory to bed, because I have a theory that they don't exist, but the time is so fluid that we're seeing through time to things that happened once before but are available to us now. So ghosts tend to have repetitive actions, like, a maid will walk down and she's dressed in 18th century clothing and she will sweep the corridor and walk through a door and disappear, or walk through a wall, famously. And I always thought, well, maybe that's because time isn't linear. I mean, there was a door there where the wall is now, and she is just doing what she did, a couple of 100 years ago. But when ghosts actually touch people, then my theory gets very wobbly there.
Yeah.
All right.
It is an interesting theory, though. It's
an interesting theory, but it doesn't hold up to the whole touchy thing. I'm really happy that ghosts don't touch us very often.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah. How are you surviving through all this?
I've been furloughed from my job for like forever, so I'm just getting unemployment right now, which is nice because then I don't have to stress out trying to find something new or like worry I'm going to bring COVID back to my parents from work.
Yeah. Is it enough? Does it keep you all? I mean, you know, obviously you can't be ambitious, but there's nothing to spend money on anyway.
Yeah, so like I live at home anyway, so I'm just like buying books mostly or like some exercise clothes.
Yeah. And how are your family?
My dad came in and gave me a weird look, so it looks like I'm talking to
Oh,
myself.
do you want to say he'll find out just how weird this is if he says hi to me? Has he gone out?
He already left.
How are they? Are they okay, your parents?
My dad needs to get knee surgery, and we're wondering if he's going to be able to do that because elective surgeries are starting to get phased out in Michigan because our COVID cases are so high. So he's supposed to get his knee replaced on Monday, and we don't know if he's going to be able to do it. We'll find out at his appointment tomorrow.
Yeah.
But mom's fine. She got her second COVID shot today, and
great.
She's hogging the pets right now.
As she should. As she should.
Mm-hmm.
They must be the most spoiled pets.
Oh, they're terribly spoiled. We have a Sheltie. We have a sign for the door that says a spoiled, rotten Sheltie lives here. And then my cat is so spoiled he gets to go out for walks to get to go play outside.
Did you put the cat on a leash?
Yep, and I've got a backpack for him.
Wow, that's so cool. And the cat carries its own backpack?
No, I put him in the backpack. It's got like the big dome so he can look outside.
See? What do I know?
It's really cute. Like
sense.
He can stick his upper body out the top part, so he'll just like suddenly like hang over the side of it.
What
he likes
do you
to
look
confuse dogs.
Oh yeah, I bet all cats love to confuse dogs. What are you looking forward to when this whole thing goes down? Or are you actually not really looking forward to getting back together with millions of people in the same room?
I really want to be able to see my sister again. She's over in Norway getting her PhD, and so my family hasn't been able to see her since all this started.
Yeah.
We've just been talking on FaceTime and stuff. So I'd really like to see her again. And then my best friend lives in Austria. So
wow.
I really would like to see her again. I was supposed to go see her last May 2020. And I was supposed to meet my sister in Ireland, March 2020 for a trip. And
oh my goodness.
Happened, obviously.
Wow. Well, I'm fascinated with your sisters in Norway. I mean, you must obviously miss her, but what an astonishing country. And Ireland.
She loves it over there. She's just in heaven.
Yeah. What does she do? Oh, she's studying.
Yeah, she's getting a PhD in medical visualization. I can't explain it. Every time she explains it, my eyes glaze over with all the technical terms, but she's basically trying to understand patient data better. I don't get it. She talks about it and I'm still like, duh, what are you doing?
Oh, wow. I wonder if it's a psychiatric area or whether is it clinical?
Yeah. So like her last thing was drawing up like different things, like examples of an aneurysm. So she had different pictures of it and be like, all right, which makes sense to you as like you don't have a medical background versus going to an actual doctor and be like, all right, which of these makes sense to you?
Oh, it sounds like what Fernanda does in Brazil, but for math and the brain, but it seems very similar. Ah, really cool. Okay.
Yeah, she loves it. It's challenging, but she really likes it.
Nice. Awesome. Well, listen, it has been a pleasure talking to you, Deanna. I'm kind of interested to meet your dad now. I hope he gets his knee surgery.
I hope so too, so he can move again.
Yeah, fingers crossed there. He probably thinks that what you're doing is whatever crazy thing you're doing is you should be well away from it.
Nah, he's a Star Trek nerd too. I'm named Deanna because they liked Deanna Troy's name so much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I used to think when I first got a job on Star Trek that I was going to be Deanna Troy's cousin because I didn't realize Deep Space Nine was a show. I thought I was coming on to do a guest spot on The Next Generation. And lo and behold, cool. 7 years later. Well, it's lovely talking to you and happy birthday belatedly.
Thank you.
Thanks, Deanna.
It's nice meeting you.
You too.
All right, our next birthday, we're going over to Laura.
Hello.
Hi, good to see you again.
Hello, how's it going?
Very good indeed, thank you. How's it going where you at?
Good. Massachusetts across the state.
Yes, that's right. I know. We talked about eating kiwis, Mel reminded me in an email. Do you remember that? Okay, well, she did.
Here you go.
And your birthday is like yesterday, day before yesterday.
March.
Well, happy belated birthday. Let's all give you a happy belated birthday. We have
Happy
to.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Belated birthday.
Happy
Laura.
belated
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Thank you. I was gonna sign up, but I turned 30 and I moved up an age bracket, so I was like, I guess.
Oh, you got a new decade.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Is it depressing or is it cool?
It's depressing.
No.
A little bit. Yeah, I was spending it less than for last year or so. Well, that's 2 birthdays now,
Yeah.
so.
Gosh, that's really uncool. Yeah, well, the actual birthday itself could be depressing, but the age is pretty wonderful.
I get to stay 29 another year. We skipped the past year, you know.
I loved turning 30. I loved turning 40. I thought that was really cool too. But then I was a kid who just, when I was 6 or 7, just wished I was 40. It was just one of those things. I didn't feel comfortable being a kid. I didn't like the whole youth thing. I was like, let me get straight to 40, please. So I looked forward to the decades as they rolled by.
I don't feel like an adult. Last year I started my adult job, kind of, but I still don't feel like it.
What was your adult job?
I work in an office.
That's adult.
Yeah. So I do all the accounts receivable and payroll.
Oh wow, yeah, that's properly adult.
I have no background experience in it. So I'm like, I shouldn't be allowed to do this.
What's your passion?
I like music. Going to
yeah, you like the punk scene.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yep.
Absolutely. Because we talked way back at the beginning of this, and you said I would really like to get back to going to concerts again. There's still no chance of doing that.
Well, no, this is funny because I thought about this earlier today because a couple shows just got announced for September.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh, these are really good," but I'm still iffy on them. And I was thinking about how a year ago I was ready to get back at it, but now I'm like, September seems too close. You know?
Yeah, probably. It might not be. I mean, this is in America anyway. They're promising everyone to be kind of normal on July the 4th, or at least go to parties.
That I can see. Not 2,500 people across.
Yeah, no, certainly not in a beer hall.
No,
you know.
We'll see. I don't know. It was there was a good lineup announced today. I was like, oh no, they're gonna bring me back. A lot of dates have been announced, I guess, especially in the UK for next year, which is good. I think it's a good target. I don't know about September though.
Yeah. Have you made a bunch of new friends? Because apart from the social club, which is everybody's a friend, which is I think we can all say we've made friends with at least 150 people.
They're okay. You guys are.
They're fine. In small doses. Just 4 hours a week, probably more than you talk to anyone else on the planet.
Yeah.
Have you managed to kind of found ways to communicate through Zoom with other people who are interested in similar things?
Kind of. One way that some bands have found ways to make money is doing Patreons. So they'll make a Patreon to support them, but then you get access to a Discord, and that's been
okay.
Really cool too.
Are they expensive?
No, they're $10.
Okay. Yeah.
They're not bad. But you're you're supporting the band, and especially one of my favorite bands, they'll do monthly live streams and stuff like that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a really good way of getting things done and also keeping them afloat, because I think bands must be just dying, especially live bands.
Yeah. Yeah, they redid their office or whatever they do live streams from, and they're like, this is set up for the next year. I was like, oh no, because they're not planning on going back out.
Yeah. Because Massachusetts is not doing badly at the moment. You don't feel so nervous going to the grocery store. You just put on the right mask, and I feel okay about doing that. But I just got vaccinated. Have you been vaccinated?
Yeah, last week.
It gave me one night. Did you feel feverish? I felt feverish for the first night, but then I was fine immediately afterwards.
Nah, just my arms hurt and my upper body hurt, and then I was like, is it for a day? Wasn't bad.
That ain't bad. And how? I don't know if we ever talked about it. How's your family? Is everybody okay?
Yeah, my parents are at home most of the time. My dad goes in the office sometimes. My sister, she makes donuts up in Boston. so she wakes up at 2 a.m. and goes to work at 2 a.m. and gets out at 10, so she's fine.
Yeah, so everyone's good.
Yeah.
Often when I'm not on the Zoom, I'm wondering, because we must know kind of loads of people in extended families, and I don't really talk about them enough, and I try to talk about them when I can, but some people might not be so well, but I'm glad yours are well. What are you watching? What's the thing that are you watching anything? I know you really like to listen.
Yeah, I'm actually going through and watching all the Oscar movies right now for the end.
Oh yeah, me too.
I try to do that every year. I think.
Did you start with The Sound of Metal?
I did.
I watched
it last year. I watched it last year. I was so excited because I like Riz a lot.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a great actor. So that's at the top of my list right now still.
I've left that till last. You know, I told everybody about My Teacher the Octopus a couple of weeks ago, which I just love the documentary.
Yeah.
There's a documentary called Collective. Have you seen Collective?
Except for the Octopus Teacher, I haven't seen the documentaries yet.
Collective is fantastic documentary. Amazing piece of work. What else did you like? Because I guess people are going to be looking for stuff to watch.
Oh, Another Round. I think that was the Danish movie up for.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That
was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. Absolutely.
But that director is always really good. Like his other movies have been good too. So
yeah,
I watched Nomadland over the weekend. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw Nomadland.
Wasn't as I thought it would be.
I couldn't find a way in, but I think that's because I'm not American.
Normally, was it Norm McGorman? Whatever the actress's name is.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Really
she's
good.
Fantastic.
I like Tiny Living, like that interests me. So I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." And like Nomad, like that's a cool thing.
I'm still coming to terms with it. I understood the movie, and maybe sometimes you watch a film and you're just not in the right mood, and it doesn't work for you. And so maybe I'll just watch it again and go, that's what I missed. I missed all of that intimacy that I just didn't get. I just didn't get very intimate with it.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be that way with the Trial of the Chicago 7.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought I wasn't gonna like that, and then I really liked that one.
I really enjoyed that too. I was surprised by Sacha Baron Cohen. I mean, I've worked with him. I was really amazed by it. He was really, really terrific. So was everybody else. It's like, that was really cool.
Him and Jeremy Strong were both really good. Jeremy Strong is really good in Succession too, though. So I wasn't gonna doubt that.
Oh yeah, I love Succession. Wow, good. I'm glad we brought this up, the Oscars. That's going to happen next week. I think they start. I don't know, but I think they start voting on Thursday for the finals.
Oh, neat.
All the Oscar people, and they'll decide, I guess. I was wondered how they voted for those things, but now I know. I have a much better understanding.
Your inside information.
I only voted for the short list of foreign films because that's the only ones I had time to watch. You have to watch the 300, 400 odd films. I mean, there's no way I can watch those and go hand on heart, that's the best one. Yeah. I don't know how they do the best feature film category. I just didn't have enough time to watch them.
I don't think there was many movies last year. I don't know.
There were 400 odd.
Jeez.
Yeah. I'm leaving The Sound of Metal because I know I'm going to love that. My son right away said, watch The Sound of Metal. And it was the only one he recommended. Thank you for bringing this up. I think it's a really fun conversation. I'm really glad to talk about it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank
I had a question before I scoot.
You absolutely can ask anything you like.
I think I've given out a few music recs to a bunch of people, but do you have any
recent stuff or just stuff
Anything.
In general? There are things I absolutely love. There's a album by Genesis, who everybody knows, Phil Collins, etc., etc. But before Phil Collins became really huge in the band, Peter Gabriel was much more the influence. And there was a live album called Seconds Out. And it's one of the coolest albums you'll ever hear. And it's prog rock. And there's a song on it called The Carpet Crawlers. And I think it's sat with me as one of my favorite songs of all time. So Carpet Crawlers on Seconds Out, they had the balls to do just 2 songs on one side. It's a double album. And one side of it's just 2 songs. So they would do 27-minute songs back in the day when people sort of did that. But Seconds Out is a pretty wonderful live album and very inspired by Peter Gabriel. Lots of trippy stuff, how do you come up with these lyrics? A bit like Grateful Dead, whoa. And then I'm a huge fan, a band that is really underrated but is really heavily played, but is Elbow. I don't know if you've listened to much of Elbow.
Yeah, I've never heard them.
They're kind of middle-aged guys who've been playing for years and years and years.
Right.
And I would say they're a bit like The National, but a bit more folky.
Okay.
And they're very British, and they have some of the most wonderful lyrics. It's like there's one I kind of say it to people occasionally. It's like I send you a kiss, it'll get there tomorrow. It's like it's beautiful. And some of their early albums I absolutely love, so I hugely recommend Elbow. Yeah, I'm trying to think of things. I love Marillion, a band called Marillion who did an album called A Script for a Jester's Tear, and it is totally nonsensical. And I knew the words backwards when I was a kid. I just sat in my room and sang to myself. That was when I was 17.
Yeah. Those are the best albums.
They are. The things that you just go. And I used to play rugby. And I was far too thin to be playing rugby. But I did. And it was so freezing that my knees would chap. All my knees, so they would just go black. And we weren't allowed to wear any clothes, we just had to wear these shorts. And I used to have to sing these like Marillion songs and songs by another Scottish band called Big Country in order to get myself all hyped up to go out there and actually get physical, which really didn't appeal to me at all, but I had to do it. So there's a few suggestions. I used to listen to a lot of music, except my wife doesn't listen to any music at all. So it's kind of left my life because, when you're around someone all the time who doesn't listen to music, it doesn't start up. And that's because she just doesn't get excited by it. I love it, and I probably will listen to a lot when I'm away on location. So that'll be something.
I always have like Spotify on in the background or something, or I have like a record on. Like I'll just put it on in the living room and just like have it going.
That's the best. Back in the day when you could listen to 15 seconds of any iTunes song for free.
Yeah.
I used to just iTunes crawl through 15 seconds of millions and millions of songs. And if I liked 15 seconds, I'd buy an album. That was my only rule. You can't buy just a song. You have to buy the album.
My rule right now is if I try to buy at least like one record a week.
Wow.
Like a record. Like I'll just have it sent like so I try to just get like one a week.
That's amazing.
People. Yeah.
You're buying vinyl?
Yeah.
That is the coolest thing, dude. I mean, you're building a collection you will own.
Yeah.
People who buy this digital stuff don't own the music.
It's gonna be a pain in the butt to move one day.
It will definitely be a pain in the butt to move. But they tried to get rid of vinyl once before and they couldn't, and so they won't get rid of it again because some of that stuff. We have a huge classical music vinyl collection, but we don't have a good rock collection, sadly.
Mine mostly is like punk stuff, but it's okay. It's stuff I like. Like if I remember, like I'm like I like this album. I'll just see when it comes out. Like they reissue it, and I'll just buy it, pre-order or whatever. Yeah.
Well, brilliant, Laura. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Much. Yeah, good fun.
Thanks, Laura. All right. Well, a happy birthday to all of our birthday people.
Yeah, happy birthday to everybody.
And thanks to everybody for joining us tonight.
Hurrah. Loved seeing everybody. Thank you. And well done to everyone getting the Zoom organized. Thanks for that.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up for tonight, everybody. We'll see you on Friday if you can join us. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.
Indeed.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good week. See you at the end of it.